Let's do a little bit of Epstein before we go. So, I mean, look, the big takeaways about Jeffrey Epstein are it's a stand-in for the total rot of our society. The main thing, obviously, is that Donald Trump's labor secretary, Acosta, gave him a horrifying sweetheart deal when he was a prosecutor in Florida. Basically let him off with less than a slap in the wrist for pedophilia and human trafficking. And we know that Donald Trump, in a profile written during when there was, it was a very popular thing to write these Gatsby-esque profiles. That was always the hackneyed term they would use. Who's this Gatsby-esque figure? Donald Trump said something to the effect of, he loves women almost as much as me, many on the young side, to paraphrase. Well, here is Donald Trump. And again, look, there are so many things, endless things floating around Donald Trump, most of which I completely believe. We'll see, we'll see what this yields. But this is a good methodology, again, this is how he lies, this is how he turns, and this is how he, connects with his cult.
Terrific guy.
Well, I knew him like everybody in Palm Beach knew him. I mean, people in Palm Beach knew him. He was a fixture in Palm Beach. I had a falling out with him a long time ago. I don't think I've spoken to him for 15 years.
Somebody should ask what the following.
That is quite a good question. What was your falling out with the human trafficker that you both shared a love with women on the younger side about Donald Trump?
Years. I wasn't a fan. I was not, a long time ago. I'd say maybe 15 years. I was not a fan of his. That I can tell you. I was not a fan of his. So I feel very badly, actually, for Secretary Acosta, because I've known him as being somebody that works so hard and has done such a good job. I feel very badly about that whole situation. But we're going to be looking at that and looking at it very closely. We're also going to be signing a big contract in a little while, so we're going to see you in a little while in a different room in a different part of the White House.
So actually, I think he is actually a little bit uncomfortable about this. Okay, here's what we know. We know that Epstein got a sweetheart deal for these charges. We know that he accumulated a huge social network in academia and science and politics. We know that everybody from Bill Clinton to Steve Pinker to Chris Tucker on the flight logs of the plane, and we know that there's specific allegations against a member of the British royal family, and I believe also against Alan Dershowitz. Allegations. That's what we know. Now we know that he's been arrested again, and has a whole new set of pedophilia and human trafficking charges. And we also know that Acosta gave him the most lenient two-tier justice deal imaginable. Oh, here's the Trump quote. This is Trump on Jeffrey Epstein. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy.
15. Weird how the term 15 keeps coming up.
Yeah, 15.
It's almost like that's on. Also, I think the accuser was 15 when she ended up in. I'll go into that. But anyway, you can finish reading the quote.
He's a lot of fun to be with, and it is even said that he likes beautiful women almost as much as I do, and many of them on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. That's that bone-chilling quote. Okay, but so this is what we know, and even if you wanted to just say, "Hey, this could implicate any number of Republicans and Democrats," it could. There is one person in American national life who, from everything that we know of, has absolutely nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein, and that is, of course, Barack Obama. What do you do if you're Fox News and you're dealing with this story? Do we have that clip? Well, you're going to try to do a Hail Mary pass about Donald Trump's labor secretary letting a human trafficking pedophile get away with less than a slap on the wrist. Who are you going to try to blame? I think you guessed it.
Of what went on and the situation down in Florida with Acosta, just taking a total look here. or with Epstein, excuse me?
Well, I don't think people are taking a total look at this because there's a lot of things that go into these decisions. When there's someone like this involved, this does not skip Washington. That means the AG knew about it. That means the investigative agency, the FBI.
Well, as Christine Pelosi said, some of the faves in the Democrat Party may be on a list.
Well, this was in 2008 under a Democratic administration.
Right.
So
the nature of political campaigns and how they are sort of how we do campaigns here means Obama was campaigning in 2008.
Right.
Wasn't actually in office then.
So that was the point that Matt has summarized.
Well, this was in 2008 under a Democratic administration.
Right.
So it's not just Acosta making a decision like this. Other factors go, and if there was corruption, then every investigative agency.
Wow.
All right, so Lawrence B. Jones and Harris Faulkner think they're on something. The only problem is that George W. Bush was still president. Obama was not president. And in fact, there is no indication that George W. Bush administration, in fact, had anything to do with this. What we know is that Acosta was responsible for this, the current labor secretary under Donald Trump, in his capacity as a prosecutor.
That guy, I forget his name already, but he's from Campus Reform, so that tells you about, which is basically, I think, like the Pepsi to Turning Points USA's Coke.
Definitely a group you could trust. I'm sure it is funded through grassroots mechanisms.
Reading from a political story, the one weird court case linking Trump, Clinton, and a billionaire pedophile. This is about Virginia Giuffre, who filed a civil suit. It says, Giuffre, formerly Roberts, claimed she was 15 and working as a towel girl at Trump's posh Palm Beach club when she was recruited nearly 2 decades ago into sexual slavery by socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, then Epstein's girlfriend.
Right.
It's weird that 15 keeps coming out of his mouth.
That is actually extremely bizarre. Sam mentioned yesterday, there was somebody who came forward.